All right, this is Brian Trask, Ron Myers, Justin Putnam, Dominic's Amazon Mastermind. It is April 23rd, 6 p.m. Hopefully we'll see some other folks join. Brian got his webcam working. Justin is at work, and we'll try and use the chat. Justin, I'll monitor chat as we go. I want to cover a couple of things, and then we will open it up to wide open Q&A. I may even share a screen, but I want to make sure you guys get a good feel for, you're starting on drop shipping, you're seeing the power of Amazon, you're seeing the value of Dominic's training in terms of, how to do this and strategy in terms of how to list and what to list and, that sort of thing. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the Web Scraper app company, if you will, roadmap. I want to talk a little bit about Velo and how, Velo sews, Web Scraper app together and Seller Central together. And for those of you that are using Informed, we'll talk a little bit about how that works. And then we'll kind of, open it up for Q&A, that sort of thing. I presume there's a lot to be learned on Velo for folks that are using it now and are new to it. And to be honest with you, I'm learning from some of the users. We actually have a beta Skype chat. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the things I've learned, and maybe that'll help you too. All right, so let's kick it off. So first of all, today we you guys know about Web Scraper app. It's for the retail store online arbitrage model. We also have a sourcing tool, Velo Crawler. Velo Crawler is, look, it's $49 a month. It's in its second month of release. I think we've got 7 or 8, maybe 9 suppliers up, but we intend to add 40 that we support. 65 that we support through Web Scraper app, and then we're also going to add every single online supplier out there. In terms of doing online arbitrage, we'll incorporate an FBA calculator. So for those of you that may or may not be doing FBA, you'll be able to find and source deals, send them into Amazon, make some money on it. We're also building interfaces. So, for those of you that are building out your VA team, I'm not sure how many folks at this early stage in Dominic's group are doing that, but, VAs that's that $1 million nugget, right? You start hiring VAs and you're, multiplying your time for relatively few dollars. You always don't want to trade your time for dollars. You want to trade other people's time for dollars. That's how you grow and really become a millionaire. So the point being is that, we are making it easy for you to use VAs in every tool that we make, and that includes Velo as well, and so on. So we've got Web Scraper app. We've got for online arbitrage. It'll support wholesale. It'll support VA sourced items that you can upload, then QA, and then add to list on Amazon and add to Web Scraper app at the same time. We'll be opening up Velo to the general public at double the price you guys are paying, so non-WSA customers. We'll be marketing it later on, this year or next. So right now it's wide open for you guys to take advantage of all the sources we have to offer. We are just had a call today. We're going to beta on our wholesale tool. So this is, I'm sure you guys know, you guys on the call, and maybe you're seeing this online. There's more than one way to make money on Amazon, right? It's not just online arbitrage. It's not just retail arbitrage. It is also FBA. It's also wholesale FBA, wholesale fulfilled by merchant, and then also private label as well. So our goal with our wholesale tool is to make the best tool on the market. So version 1, you'll be able to import, set up a supplier, wholesale supplier, import those items. You'll have to list them separately on Amazon, and then we'll be able to manage the items in and out of stock, just like WSA. We'll also be able to do price calculators. You can either decide to do, you want to kind of like what some of the eBay tools, they say, okay, for this item, I have make $1 on it. This item, $2. This item, $5 on it. So you'll have a minimum dollar fixed price profit formula you can put on. There will be a fixed and variable percentage profit formula, but we all know Amazon's a catalog-based site. It's a competitive site. So what you'll actually, be able to do also is ship those items to inform your repricer, just like you do today with your online arbitrage items, to compete and win on those items. So that's what's coming in release one of wholesale. We're calling it Wholesale X for now. We registered the domain wholesalex.app. We are release two will integrate Velo, like you import VA sourced items. You can import a wholesale supply catalog that'll help you make sourcing decisions or listing decisions on items. It's an FBM, Fulfilled by Merchant tool. What that means is that it's for those not sending items into Amazon, but those you're filling yourself. Now you'll either have to get wholesale drop shippers that will fulfill for you, in which case you're going to have to you'll import the catalog. They'll drop ship for you, so you'll have to have shipping price in the item record for wholesale items. But we're also going to support very quickly after that Fulfilled by Merchant, where you may have a third-party fulfillment house. So that means that we'll know how many items you're selling and decrement it, and be able to manage your stock supply if you're actually buying items and sending it to third-party fulfillment. Or you may even decide, some of you, that you want to, hire your buddy and start fulfilling, out of your garage or wherever you may be working. That's entirely up to you. There are many, many multi-million-dollar sellers who have a 10 by 10 supply space. They go there once a day. They print out all their labels. They ship them, take them to FedEx, UPS, to the post office. Boom, they're done. I'll hire someone to do that, right? For 30 or 40% margin, for 7 or 10 packages, it's well worth it. So we'll integrate Velo with wholesale. That's version 2. Version 3, we're going to actually do online ordering for you and online fulfillment for you from the supplier. So the plan is that we will gather about 150 wholesale suppliers. I got a list of all the suppliers these wholesale tools support. We'll create a relationship with them. We'll make sure we can get the data from them. We'll make sure that you can figure out how to source from them, how to list from them. Just like Velo today, you're going to have to check every single item that you list, QA, make sure it's working. We'll talk about Velo in a minute. But in any case, that's kind of like the pond that all of you guys are fishing out of, right? So you'll have the opportunity to get your own, local wholesale manufacturers and create that solution. I don't know that we'll be doing automatic ordering and automatic fulfillment from your own folks, but if it makes economic sense, your own suppliers, if it makes economic sense, then we'll do it. We just won't invest, a week's programming project. We might, if it takes a simple email and spreadsheet export twice a day to the supplier, we're glad to do that, right? So many, many things coming, and we're going to beta on that the beginning of May, and I think by the end of May we'll be done with beta, and we'll start adding these, public, wholesale suppliers, start adding those guys. So we'll probably open up late May, early June on wholesale. So that's what's coming there. Once we're done with that, there's all kinds of stuff. We're in the middle of, for WSA users, on doing automatic confirmations. So you guys don't have to do that anymore. That's at least one full-time equivalent, maybe 2 every day. When you're a $100,000 a month seller, it's 2 people, entering shipping confirmations. We'll actually connect to your Gmail, your ordering account. We'll scrape your email for confirmations. We'll check with the supplier to make sure that there was a first scan. That way you get a valid tracking, and then boom, we'll update Amazon, confirm the order for you, and we'll show you through our order tool which items orders are confirmed and which ones aren't. So that's going to be done right about the same time that that wholesale is done, and then we start on our AI machine learning based repricer. So we already have the formula. We know how to do it. We know what to do. So we're just going to take the best of the repricing strategies out there, put them out there for you to use, tweak, manage. You can do a very, very simple min-max formula, compare who you want to compete against, do a checkbox. Some people turn off repricing late or price it real high late and then start repricing, drop it down early during prime buying hours. So that way you'll get more competitive, and believe me, that will add 10% to your bottom line at least. So we'll do that. And then, of course, for the more advanced folks, we'll do the algorithmic AI machine learning, where we'll dive bomb the price to your minimum break even, and then as soon as you're in the buy box, we'll bump the price up, and then we'll as soon as you lose the buy box, we'll drop it down again. So that's kind of what's going on. That strategy manually is proven to increase sales by 30%, increase profit by 30%. So we should have that out by the end of the year. Bam, that's what's going on. You know, obviously looking for programmers and more support staff, more marketing folks. You know, we're trying to hire and grow as quickly as we can, at the same time deliver good service and good product. So that's kind of our roadmap right there. The next thing, I mean, you guys kind of know a little bit about, I talked a little about Velo, real quick recap. So we're going to add more suppliers, all that we support plus all that are out there, plus the ability to wholesale import for listing. We're going to also embed an FBA calculator so you can make a purchasing decision. And, you know, I think if we can get a keep a graph in there, we'll put that in there too so you can see sort of velocity on items to make if you're doing any FBA as well. And again, that's going to be out there for the general public at large. So that's you know, there's stuff coming in 2020. I prefer not to talk that far out, but that's all the stuff that we have penciled in and designed for this year. So before we go on, Justin or Brian, you guys have any questions?
So the end of the year, what was it called?
I was talking for the end of the year. So there's Wholesale X that's coming out in May. We're going to extend Velo to Wholesale X after May, and then we're working on our AI-based repricer. You know, artificial intelligence, machine learning. That's what I said. Okay.
So what is that going to cost?
$1 million, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I know you didn't do it for nothing.
Yeah, so the answer is, you know, everybody's concerned about cost, and I get it. You're a new seller, and you know money's tight and that sort of thing. You know, selling on Amazon. Listen, I wouldn't knock anybody for minimizing expenses. I think that's a great idea and be very, very smart about it. My answer to you is that, you know, once you have the buy box, you're playing the long game with Amazon. The more you sell, Brian, the more and do well at sales, the more traffic, ergo more conversions you're going to get selling on Amazon. So, you know, the answer is, you know, you're in this for like the 9 to 12 month horizon where you're doing 6 figures a month, right? So that's where you need a repricer. I submit to you, you can't reprice and win manually. You just can't. You can do it with 5 items, but you're never going to get to 6 figures a month. So that's kind of what you know, people are going to have to ask. You know, if you're asking me what I'm going to price an item, a new product out at the end of the year, I don't have an answer for you firmly. I'll tell you my thought is that we're going to sort of match Inform's pricing now, which is going to be, you know, 10,000 items, $79 a month for a min-max. And if you want the AI-based repricer that increases sales and profit, that's probably going to be somewhere around double, you know, $150 a month, something like that.
Right. And it's even like the same thing with Velo. You know, at first I was like, well, I don't want to spend like $50 extra a month on this. But then when I'm just sitting there, like going through, you know, item after item, just dud, you know, 100 duds, and then you get your winning item. I was just like, you know what? Like, your time is just worth the $50 a month. Like, then it hit me. I was like, my time is worth $500 a month.
Your time,
you would do that to me, Ron.
Ryan. No doubt about it. Let me tell you something. If you don't make back your monthly cost on Velo the first day you use it, you're doing something wrong.
Right. Oh, of course. And once I saw the video, I was like, all right, it's just so much. I mean, it almost is like an assistant. It almost is like a VA that you're paying.
No doubt. The VA is a minimum, $250 to $400 a month, right?
Yeah. Well, here, I know Justin's also in this. Justin, did you want to say anything? We haven't heard you.
You can type if you want, Justin. Well, Justin may or may not be typing. Let me make a couple comments. So, first of all, there are secrets to Velo that have not been exposed. People think, oh, I plug in a URL and it's going to tell me all my profitable items. Yes, that's true. It'll tell you items. You could search, in the video, coffee maker. By the way, everybody sells coffee maker, so that's not the winner. Look, Janae's here. Hey, thanks for joining us. Thank you. Hello. We're recording this, Janae, so you'll get, if you can hear me, you'll get the access to recording later. So in any case, to continue on, Brian, with Velo. So So yes, you will find items just by doing a scrape. You know, you could pick out coffee makers. I did this with Rose today in your group. Hey, Janae, and go on. I'm going to mute you if it's okay. Just if you want to talk, feel free to unmute yourself, right? So anyway, I mean, I want to hear from you. Don't get me wrong. We're answering a question, and then we'll take another question. In any case, so yes, it will. You know, there were 50 pages on Walmart of coffee makers. Now it shows you the items that are on the IP restricted brands list, that sort of thing. If you're just looking for green items and you're one of a million people that are selling coffee makers on Amazon, you're probably not going to find, you know, one or two in the 50 pages that you could list. However, in that source list, you're going to find items that are, you might be approved for a brand, you might not. You might find items that have multiple variations that you can list. You might find items, I was telling Rose, you know, you might have Amazon, you know, the way the tool works, if you can be top 5, it's going to show you green, right? But what if Amazon and 3 FBA sellers are like 30% cheaper than you, 2 FBA sellers, and through your QA process, you found out that there's only 2 or 3, you know, fulfilled by merchant sellers, and you're right in the pack with them. Well, it won't show green on Velo, but what it will do is it will it'll be there for you to move to QA, so you have someone check it, QA it, and then list it. Let me also tell you that we have one guy, when he first started using it, he was getting 30 items an hour. Brian, talk about making your money back on the first day. 30 items an hour the guy was listing. I think he came up with, he got sick of it after 6 hours, and he had added 180 items to his store in one day, right? And here's what he did. He found all the variations of the items. He found multi-packs, you know, where you source in singles and you sell in 2s, 3s, and 4s. He found items that he could create bundles on through Web Scraper app. So, you know, the tool will scrape the category, and I think that's your best value right there. Because you can now, in one place, you can say, okay, what's it selling for on Amazon? What's my all-up cost, you know, and the supplier? Does the item match? Are there variations? Can I bundle, you know, bicycle shoes with a bicycle hat or a water bottle? You know, that kind of thing. Can I sell it in more than one pack and be the only listing on my multi-pack? That's the way you make money with Velo, right? And we're going to continue. You know, the other thing I'll tell you, just like I talked about Wholesale X, and we're adding, you know, all these wholesale supply, 150 wholesale suppliers that you know, everybody else is using, fish in the same pond. You want to go where everybody is not. So as we expand on Velo, the whole idea is, Brian, to use Velo for other suppliers you might not be using today. And obviously, you want to test the supplier out, make sure that they're good, that Web Scraper app is working properly with the supplier, that the supplier has what we call vendor performance. They're shipping on time, they're giving you good tracking on time, that if you have a customer service issue or return, that they're handling that as well. So I hope I explained that clearly, Brian. That makes sense?
Yeah. One thing is, does it, and I'm trying to remember, does it show the ranking on Amazon, or do you have to go back into Amazon and check?
Bestseller rank is on there, as well as the rating, the item rating as well.
Okay, so if I find, let's say, whatever coffee maker in this instance, I would then want to go search it in Amazon and be like, all right, hopefully this isn't ranked like 700,000 in coffee makers on Amazon, because that's kind of pointless to list.
Yeah, you'll see that. Hey, look, I list items under $1 million. I do, you know, because I think it's going to sell at least once or twice in a month, and you might get the sale, right? So just so you know, I mean, it cost you pennies to list it, you can make dollars on one sale. Anyway, getting back to it. So yeah, it does sort of, you know, bestseller rank is important. Velo presents not only the item URL, but the picture. Hey, Christian, the image match. So you want to check that to make sure we're grabbing the right image and the image looks correct. And you also want to look it up at the site, because maybe the site has the wrong image, but it's the right brand and model number and item number, and do further, you know, investigation, right? So, you know, it's a tool to help you and your team be more productive in sourcing. You can't just look at it as, hey, find me one coffee maker. And Christian and Janae, before I go on, I wouldn't bother with coffee makers. There's a million people selling coffee makers on Amazon, okay? But I'm just using that as an example, right? We call it a widget, right? That's what it is. So anyway, that's basically it. Christian, just so you know, can you hear me okay, Christian? Nod your head. Maybe not. We're recording here, so we'll find a way to get you guys this recording, okay, as well. So listen, let me say one more thing, and then Janae, I want to go through Justin's question that they put in chat, and then Janae, if you have any questions, feel free to ask that as well. So I don't want to skip you over. I just want to make sure we're covering the material. So let me give you guys sort of a start to finish on Velo, on Web Scraper app to Velo and back again. Kind of, how does this stuff work, right? So first of all, you guys that are new sellers, I want you to get Web Scraper app up and running without Velo first. I've told you guys this before. Very, very important, right? So the reason for that is we lost Christian. The reason for that is that we want to make sure that that Web Scraper app was designed, or Velo was designed to work with Web Scraper app integrated in version 1. And so if Web Scraper app, if you don't have your keys in, you can't list product. If you don't have your supplier set up, we can't add the items to Web Scraper app. So you got to get Web Scraper app up and running before you can sign up for Velo right away, but I wouldn't start using it until you've at least gone through the implementation for the 7-step implementation process, and you've listed an item manually on Seller Central and added it to Web Scraper app, and if you're using Inform, that you're sending data to Inform. Now, having said that, let's talk about what happens, once you're set up and using Web Scraper app, Seller Central, and I'm going to include Informed if you guys may be manually repricing, but I'm going to include that in the discussion so that, we're recording this, you guys will sort of get it, right? So you list an item in Seller Central, right? That means that you've gone out to the supplier site, you've found an item you can compete on, you've checked everything, everything matches, size, style, color, brand. It's not a restricted item. You've checked the restricted items list. If you're not in the restricted items group, please get in touch with me. It's a community managed list that we manage in Skype. You'll get access to. We take that list once a week and add that to Velo. So Velo shows you, items that are on the restricted brands list. In any case, continuing on. So you find an item, you list it on Amazon. Everybody asks you, where do I get the SKU? The SKU is your SKU. It's yours. SKU stands for stock keeping unit. It's a number you make up. Now, if you're sourcing from Walmart, I will tell you, you might want to start with WAL and then dash and then item number and then dash and then, 4 other digits. You can make it up. If when you are listing an item in Amazon, you don't put a SKU, Amazon will assign a SKU to the item. Very, very important. The number one rule of Web Scraper app, you must, the value for the ASIN in Amazon, let's say it's ABC, and the value for the SKU for that item in Amazon, let's say it's 123, right? Must match for that item in Web Scraper app. So ABC 123. That way we can find the item when we're using Amazon's API, put it in stock and out of stock. The other thing is, Informed repriced is based on the SKU. So let's say we think, and Inform grabs your data from Amazon, what items you have. So if Inform thinks the SKU is DEF, but you listed it in Web Scraper app as the SKU is ABC, then we're going to tell Inform, hey, the cost of SKU ABC is $10, and Inform's going to say, well, we couldn't find it in Amazon, so we didn't reprice it. I will tell you right now, 9.9 out of 10 issues come from setup or people not knowing their data the way they should, right? And make no mistake, you guys are in the data management business. You're not manufacturing product. You're not shipping product. You're listing items. You're placing orders. And then you are fulfilling orders. And in order to have the opportunity to list and sell, you have to make sure your data is good on Amazon and that Web Scraper app is grabbing good data. All right, so let me keep going, right? So now you've listed on Amazon. You got the correct ASIN, the correct SKU. You've added the Web Scraper app. You can click Add Single Item in Web Scraper app. By the way, just because you list it in Amazon doesn't mean that it's public facing. In other words, you may or may, Amazon knows who you are. They may present your item to you, but typically it takes about 30 minutes after you list an item, an incubation period on Amazon before that item comes active. Just like if you set that item to 0 quantity available, it may take up to 30 minutes until they take that out of the public facing site, right? So here we are, making changes. There's always a time delay on Amazon when you make a change. That's number one. And if you don't believe me, by the way, they try and change, the available quantity and so inventory, manage inventory, pick an item, change quantity available, you'll see that they'll give you a message. This can take up to 15 minutes to reflect in Amazon. So now we've listed the item in Amazon. We've added it to Web Scraper app. If it's your first time adding an item to Web Scraper app, what happens is we have what we call auto batch create. It'll create a batch that has to be scraped. It'll set up someone in customer service gets a ticket to set up your Ryan, Janae, Justin, round the clock scraping schedule. Never has to happen again for Walmart because you've now done that for Walmart. First time you do it for Home Depot, it has to be done as well. After that, it scrapes on a regular schedule. Okay. As we are scraping, every 30 minutes, we take a snapshot of your inventory and we upload to Amazon the API. So it's not like Walmart says to us, hey, Ron, Ryan, Janae, Justin, here's our up-to-the-minute inventory by distribution center all over the country. No, we're scraping, okay? That means there's an event happens in a timing period. Now, take note of this. Our data center is up near Washington, D.C. We scrape based on an Amazon, Walmart, and a Home Depot store in the Virginia area. So use a Virginia zip code. So if you ever see an item's in stock in Web Scraper app, but your local, Southern California Walmart is out of stock, change your store location, and that's where you should find it. Now, that's not to say that Walmart won't change price or stock status 10 times an hour. They will. But hopefully we've captured it in the last 45 minutes to an hour that we've scraped Walmart. So that's kind of how it rolls. Now we scraped it. We're managing stock. We're taking a snapshot every 30 minutes, updating Walmart's in and out of stock. That's our secret sauce, by the way. It works pretty well. And then we're also we're taking a snapshot every hour and sending your source cost. It's called all up cost. So you guys know the supplier table, right? Supplier table has Walmart. It's got your tax percent. It's got your handling days. So what you want to do is make sure we take the item cost plus tax plus shipping and we send it to Informed by SKU. Now they know what the cost is for that item. As soon as they recognize that an item is in stock, very important, and they have source cost, then they will start repricing it every 15 minutes for you, okay? Source cost in stock. That means if your store is on vacation, they're not repricing the items. That means if an item is out of stock, the item is not active, they're not repricing it. Informed gets your in-stock item status, active versus inactive, from a report in Amazon called the Active Listing Report. So that's how they know. Take my word for it. There's a delay. Okay, they're grabbing it from a report. You have to wait for Amazon. Web Scraper app puts the item out of stock. It gets reflected on Amazon as out of stock. Amazon then puts it on the report as out of stock. Then Informed gets it as out of stock. That could be an hour, right? Likewise, reverse when we put it back in stock. So you may have items that go back into stock with Informed that they're just not getting right then and there and repricing right then and there. That's just how it rolls. If you ever see an item that's mispriced, here's another thing that, again, I'm recording this, but let me tell you, okay? If you have an item that is mispriced, here's what you do. First thing you do is you go to the supplier site and you check the price. Make sure if it's Walmart, Home Depot, you're going to a Virginia zip code, right? There's only one distribution center for both of those out in Virginia, DC area. If you get the source cost, if Web Scraper app is scraping the correct source cost, then you know the Web Scraper app is reading it correctly, right? Next step is to look in Seller Central and see if Seller Central, what the price is at that moment. Now remember, Informed might have priced it, someone might have bought it at the lower price, but now it's showing the correct price. If that's the case, you're stuck in what's called a timing issue. That's all there is to it. If Informed is showing the correct price, selling price, if Seller Central is showing the correct selling price, Web Scraper app has the correct source cost to the site, then you know the system's working. If something's not working in between, the only thing I can tell you is, there's in between update times that happen, and you can go to inventory, file transfer, download, cost update for ae.csv, and look up the item by SKU, and you can look up the cost as of this moment that we're sending to Informed to see if we're sending source cost. But in Informed, you'll see the source cost as well. so you'll know. So there's places to check, right? You're reconciling the supplier cost, supplier site. I'm recapping supplier site, supplier cost to what's in Web Scraper app. Then you're looking at your selling price, comparing that to what Inform says for that item. You can just do a search in the item and Inform to see what they're saying it should be selling and repriced at. And then the only other thing you check is what was the dollar value that we sent to Inform. And other than that, if there's a mispriced error, that's going to happen. There's 250 million sets of eyeballs on Amazon waiting for you guys to make a mistake. That's how it rolls, right? And you just balance out the, you'll ask someone to cancel, or you'll eat the, couple of buck loss, whatever it is. If it's a big deal, you're always welcome to get in touch with Web Scraper app customer support. We're trying to check that. By the way, you can always get in touch with me on Skype as well. If you listen, I'm running a software company for 350, 380 stores, right? So I'm not checking your item issues. I'm not checking your stock status. I promise you, I'm building a great company so you guys can make money, right? But so that's why we have 12 people on our team to check your stuff. So if you ever have an issue with a mispriced item, a misscraped item, some issue that's not working right, just submit a ticket, post the ticketing number in Skype. I'll respond back, escalated. And what I do is I go right to the developer or the customer service, and I say, hey, handle this. Customer service will handle it. And then if customer service can't figure out, they'll hand it to the developer. And during the U.S. daytime hours from 8 a.m. to about 9 o'clock at night, we've got a developer on staff that their responsibility is to maintain the scrapers, right? Customer service maintains the platform. That's how it works, guys. That's how it works. So, your whole goal is to scale and not let the little stuff bother you. Not let, do you care if you're going to make 10 grand, and you have $500 in item losses? Do you care that month? Do you really? I didn't. I called that a cost of doing business. And that's how it rolls, right? Let me take a look real quick at Justin's question. That's what I'm reading now. The helps time still getting used to it. You're only looking at problem. Yeah, Justin, you have to, and this goes for Brian and Janae too. QA everything that comes out of there. All you do is check the box and move it to QA. Again, the $1 million nugget, hire VAs. You don't care about their time. You want them to spend time QAing everything. They're going to find good items. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Philippine VAs are born and bred to be a good worker for you on Amazon. I say that with great respect. I got a team that I treat like family, okay? They work hard. They want to do a good job. It's your job to train them. In the Learning Hub, there's a Q&A tab. There are 3 very we do Q&As there every 2 weeks, and we're having another one on Thursday, by the way, Thursday. So if you want, you're welcome to join if you're in the Web Scraper app Facebook group, and I will add you if you're not there yet. And there are 3 videos I want you to watch. One is how to recruit, hire, and train virtual assistants, which people charge, for a course. We've laid it out for you. Another one is mindset and the roadmap to 100K a month. And the last one is customer service and metrics and why that's important. These are $1 million sellers sitting with me talking and taking questions with folks just like you. No such thing as a bad question during Q&A. We got to get that on the table. Okay, so Justin's question, with Inform, don't you need to manually input all supplier costs for each listing? I think I already answered that in my explanation, Justin, but the answer is no. Once Web Scraper app scrapes it, the system takes over. We send source cost to Inform. Inform starts repricing. You're on to the next listing. That's the Velo sources and lists, and as to Web Scraper app, when Velo lists it, sets it to 0 availability until Web Scraper app scrapes it, puts it back in stock, okay? And then we grab the source cost, we send it to Inform, and then the whole system takes over on that item, and you're using Velo to get the next item, and just keep growing and growing and growing. That makes sense? I know Janae's got it. Make sense, Brian? Cool. Again, we're going to post this recording because I'm, that's why these calls are so important, right? There's people run masterminds. They charge thousands of dollars. I spent 20 grand my first year on masterminds to learn this stuff. I was on a call with 2 of my original coaches today from 5 years ago, and it's always great to catch up with them. So anyway, that's the stuff that you're going to learn, working with someone. I sold $2 million in the last 2 years. I'm shutting my store down. I'm shutting my store down. I'm working on building software solutions for you guys. Janae says, can I have those items, please? Right. You're going to source because you know what? You're going to be the next millionaire.
Why don't you? You're not going to shut it down. I'd hope you'd at least sell it.
No, I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep it because I need it to test. Number one, and number two, it's always good to have an extra store. You know, look, if I had to, long story, but I use what are called developer keys. And if there's ever a problem with my developer keys for WebScraper app, I could switch over my store developer keys. So it's an insurance policy for you guys. I'll gladly spend $39 a month for that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Cool.
I could have sold it. I have, 18,000 items in the list, that sort of thing. So anyway, you guys will get it. You'll get there. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. So do you also do anything with like being like a fulfilled by Amazon seller, any of that stuff, or is it all doing drop shipping?
Personally, I don't do any FBA. I do have wholesale suppliers for appliances and bathroom equipment, if you will. Bathtub sinks, armoires, that kind of thing. That I have relationships with that I use, but I'm shutting those guys down too.
Is there information you can find about that, or is that all separate from everything else that you do?
It's separate. We'll do another mastermind. Once we get the wholesale product up and running, it's going to become a big focus for our group. My intent is to build the best wholesale management solution out there on the marketplace. I came from ERP, which is, enterprise software for people that were running Fortune 500 business. So I'm not going to make it too complex. I think there's a beauty and simplicity. WebScraper app, I was talking to a developer today who was actually a customer of ours, and he says, man, it's, it's so simple and functional and purposeful, right? We built it not to be complex. We built it so that, the magic happens behind the code. So, you're dealing with, 5 fields or something, and boom, you're up and running. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm talking about a lot of stuff, you guys, and I don't want you guys to get in, feel like, oh my God, I have so much to learn. You take it one step at a time. It's drinking from a fire hose. It really is. But 6 months, 9 months from now, you're going to be so much farther ahead than you are now. And a year from now, you're going to be doing things that you never thought of, in terms of working on your business, because ultimately you're not processing orders and listing items. You're hiring and training people to do that stuff and finding new suppliers and new ways to make money on Amazon. You want to be working on your business, not in your business. Make sense?
Yeah.
This is gold, man. I'm telling you, this is what got me going.
No, I agree. And what's funny is I also, Ron, I like to look at like real estate and stuff online all around. Mm-hmm. And commercially, I'm seeing shopping centers up for sale right now because of e-com.
There's a huge upheaval in retail right now. And I think it's more than retail. It's the economy. It's the state of our country, not to delve into politics. We're divided, and we need to come together and grow together. And I think we're going to get there. I think it's just going to take a few years. That's all there is to it.
Totally. Well, I even, just because looking at all the businesses and stuff and looking at some of these trends, mm-hmm. I almost just think Amazon should buy shopping mall real estate and turn them into fulfillment centers at this point, because they might as well.
There are Amazon lockers at Whole Foods right now.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm in Seattle, man. Actually, one of my accounts that I manage is Amazon. I go to meetings at Amazon headquarters probably once a month.
Awesome.
So, and it's for all sorts of different reasons and departments and people, but it's literally a growing organism in Seattle right now that cannot be stopped.
They have, like Uber and Airbnb, they have disrupted the industry. Amazon has, for all of Jeff Bezos' failures to us, he has created in 20 years, 2 decades, a reversal of a mindset where people will buy cars and, houses and, property and, large ticket items online, because he's given them that guarantee and that assurance. And now we think of the convenience over going to the retail store. And that's the reason I think retail will bounce back. I think that there's always a place, this is my opinion, there's always a place in retail for a personal touch. either high end or, you want to try on that pair of shoes or whatever it is, you might need a, whatever, you want to see it, touch it, feel it. That's what retail is going to be for. And it's, the retail stores are going to be more for branding, like commercial. Look what you can buy online. That's what they're going to be telling you, right? And oh, does this fit me right? That sort of thing. So that's basically it. Again, I think it'll bounce back, but right now it's we saw, even though the economy grew in the fourth quarter of 2018, we saw a bad fourth quarter for retail. And the stock market grew and everything was going, retail was doing poorly, right? And retail's going to continue to do poorly. So, we have to take advantage of this. And we've got a nice long run to go, at least 5 years, maybe more. So let's just I'm going to keep developing tools. Let me close on sort of my sermon about the beauty of where we're at with this note. I was talking with one of my mentors today, and I reminded him of a story he told me about a year and a half ago. A friend of his has 2 million items on Amazon. They're all wholesale. He's connected his own personal systems to place orders and to ship product and receive orders and send back confirmation numbers. And this guy was doing $1.5 million a month, and he had one VA.
So he was doing 1.5 million in sales every month.
Yep, and making 30%.
Jeez. So he's making $500,000 a month.
That's sick money for sitting home, right? This is what
Janae's feeling that. I can see her. Janae's feeling it over there.
I'm a technology. I love your smile. Janae, I love your smile.
There she is.
Janae, I love your smile. So don't shut me off again. Look, the reality is that I'm going to continue to develop solutions, and we're going to work as a group, a mastermind, as a group in our calls on growing our business together. That's all there's to it.
I guess, and I know this is kind of like a long beat-up question. For going and getting more capital to run through your business, do you have any, is it besides just going through like regular credit, lines of credit, is there any other thing, like resource that you know of?
Yeah, so, there's the roadmap and mindset to 100K a month, and I recommend the Amex Plum card. Now, guys that are young and ladies that are young that don't have a long credit history, you may not be able to use it all the way up. But I found, and they told me this, and I followed it right away, right? That, every 2 weeks I get paid from Amazon, I paid the Plum card. They never stopped me. They financed me up to $350,000 1 month. So, it takes a year to build up to that, right? But you'll get there. So pay them every 2 weeks. They'll see that you're paid, and they'll see that payment history, and they'll keep letting you roll. That's all there's to it. They never stop me.
I wanted to get one with air miles, so I can,
Yeah, well, you can. Whatever you do, make sure you get a business credit card from Amex. I wanted the 1.5% more. If I'm selling, $100,000 a month, that's going to make me $1,500 a month. That's plenty air miles, right? What else can I tell you? There's payability. Payability, I think, is very expensive and can get you in financial trouble. But if you needed to get over a hump to keep your store open, it's always better to keep your store open. We'll talk about that in our Q&A next. There's another company called Kabbage. I think they're a little more expensive. I think you need to develop a relationship with your bank. You need to make sure that your credit is clean. I use the Credit Pros out of New Jersey. It was $150 and then, $90 a month for 6 months. Within 3 months, I think I had a 720 credit score, So just go that route.
You pay them money, $90 a month, and they clean up your credit?
Yep.
What about if you still owe something? I mean,
okay.
That's why I'm confused. Like let's say I have one maxed out credit card that I can't pay off, and I want to pay these guys.
What they're doing is taking derogatories off your.
Okay.
So if you have what they do is they write letters, and generally speaking, all of the medical drops off, all the judgments drop off, all the little ding dong, drops off, and they'll drop off right away, and your credit jumps. And then, let's say, the credit card company responds, and then you get that little ding and it drops back down again. But you'd be shocked how fast your credit gets cleaned up.
Right.
It's not even a question. It's not even a question. Just use it. You know, if you have dings or a bad credit, it's worth it to spend, $400 or $500 to get your credit cleaned up.
Okay. Well, now I'll look into this.
There you go.
What was the name again of the credit company?
Oh, there she is.
I couldn't figure out how to unmute.
I believe it's called the Credit Pros in
The
New
Credit
Jersey.
Pros. Okay.
And Justin said in the chat that he's used a credit service. In 1 month, his credit jumped 25 points.
Okay.
And it's called One Capital Solutions. The number One Capital Solutions. Anyway,
So I'm super new,
yeah.
as you know, and I haven't posted any products at all because I'm having a hard time trying to find the products. And I did sign up for Velo. So I guess what is your guidance to like get started on where or like what to look for?
So
And I may
first
have
of
missed
all,
that part.
I want you to watch this video again when I post it. Okay. I want you to get set up on WebScraper app. I want you to source at least 1 or 2 items to make sure WebScraper app is working. That's number one. If you're using Inform, make sure that the system is working all the way from sourcing to listing to adding to WebScraper app to going through to Inform, right? That way you know the system's working. That's number one. Number two, then Velo works on search the drop-down list for suppliers.
Okay.
If you want to source, go to the supplier site, take a look. They all have department structure, so you can scrape by department. But if you don't get, if you say, bed and bath as a department, and there's no results below, Velo's not going to give you any results. So then you got to go to bed, and then you got to go to mattresses, and all of a sudden all the mattresses are there, right? So, or you could punch in the search term mattresses into the site, or coffee maker, or the brand mainstays, or whatnot, and then you'll get the search results from that. Finding items is not hard. It's not hard. Everybody focuses on golden nuggets. I found one golden nugget in 5 years.
Oh,
it
wow.
was a foam mattress that I was getting from Home Depot for $100 less than the competition, than Amazon even. And I sold like 100 of them over the holidays. Made $100 each.
I have a golden nugget right now.
Good.
It's something I found on Walmart for $60, and I'm the lowest price on Amazon, and I'm selling it for $220.
God bless you, man. It's beautiful. Better be sure, keep an eye on it, make sure that Walmart doesn't raise the price.
I was telling my friend, I was like, I know right now they're running out of them, so I knew it was coming though. I knew it wasn't gonna last forever because nothing ever does in this business. But I told my friend, I was like, I make $120 and I trade about 90 seconds of my life for it. Every time I get an order of this.
There you go.
So it's the best money you'll ever spend your time making.
There's no doubt about it. Just work the system.
Yeah. Because that's what I want to look for with Velo is like, all right, here's some items, but where can I make the most of my money for what I'm fronting my money?
Those would be marked green for sure.
Because I want to be able to make as much money as I can with fronting the least amount of money.
Right, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So okay, I know I'm still new. So basically, are people putting their purchases on credit cards and then waiting to be reimbursed through Amazon? Is that how most people?
That's how it works. Amazon pays you every 2 weeks like clockwork.
Make sure you get points or miles or something too for whatever card. You want to make sure that there's like a reward, and even the cashback sites too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big part of your profit.
Okay, so you can't wait till Amazon pays you to buy the products. You have to front it up first.
No, you have to pay when you sell it. You have to fulfill within a few days. You'll never get a sale if you take 2 weeks handling time on the item.
Okay.
Wait, Ron, I know this is kind of, you already said something about this, but when you said do a business card over a personal card, why would you, what's the benefit of that? Or do
I had the Capital One card, personal card in my name, and they would cancel orders. I'd get like 10 orders for something, and I'd try and place them on Walmart, and then all of a sudden the credit card would start canceling them. The business card understands. You call up Amex, you tell them what your business model is. Here's what I'm doing. I'm buying stuff online. I'm selling stuff online. You're going to see 100 purchases from Walmart all day long. You'd be shocked at how great the customer service is from American Express. The rest of the world could learn from them.
Right. Well, that's what I want to do is because I have Delta and they're partnered with Delta for flyer miles. So I was going to get one of those cards.
Yeah. I don't, Brian, get it. But, I'd recommend you get like a gold card or a silver or platinum card or whatever. When I say a business, it's not solely in your business name. It's in your business with your personal name on it. And don't get me wrong, I have business credit too. It's great to build business credit. But right now, when you're starting out, get a card in your business name.
Because right now, I don't have an LLC or anything. It's just my 1099 form from Amazon.
You should. Brian,
Just get an LLC?
Yeah. Amazon will look at you as a real business if you do that. You're taking a risk of getting suspended without an LLC.
Okay. And because also I've seen on like Wayfair, you can sign up to be a partnered purchaser with, you don't want to do it.
Wayfair is not reseller friendly. They're just not.
So they made it seem like they were, though.
So you make it seem like you're not believing me what I'm telling you. I've been down the path. I have people that have recently gone down the path, and Wayfair is not drop. As soon as they figure out your reseller, they're going to drop you from the program.
I figured that out with Chewy really quick, but
why don't you call Wayfair? Why don't you call Wayfair and say, "Hey, are you guys dropship friendly now?" See what they say.
Well, I'm not going to call them yet because they're
Tell
still.
Your name is Janae.
The few things that I still use them for, they've been going out, and I haven't had issues.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you get a personal. They want businesses, brick and mortar businesses that are going to order from them on a regular basis, desks and whatnot. So, just be careful with Wayfair. They also file IP complaints against you. They've been known to do that as well. So be very, very careful with Wayfair.
Okay.
Use them. If you sign up for their business program, they're going to soon enough figure out that you're selling to non-duplicated ship-to addresses. Like I say, you violated our process. Someone just did it recently. They asked me about it. I told them give it a shot, and they failed.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. It was just with Chewy, that was where I ran into that the first time, where I kept finding these great margins on Chewy, and I was like, gosh, you know what, I'm just going to try it. And they let me get away with one, and then they flagged my next order, and I was like, hey, why'd you flag this? And they were like, well, your billing address is separate from your shipping address.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, what's the problem? And they were like, well, it needs to match. And I was like, well, what if I'm a person where my billing address is going to be different from where I want you to bring it to?
Yeah.
And they just didn't care.
You need a better answer than that, dude. You need to say something like, yeah, well, I work for a nonprofit, and we donate, to lost puppy shelters, and you can't just be the person. You got to be the company and that sort of thing. I had Wayfair Google my address. Can you believe that? I gave that story.
Wow.
Yeah, they said, hey, your corporate address is in a strip mall. I said, yeah, that's our office. I said, we have offices all over the country. Still didn't work.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it can be a pain in the butt for some e-com companies to deal with a drop shipper or reseller or whatever. So
it costs them money. Amazon return policy is very expensive. So that's what's killing everybody right now. It's a double-edged sword. It's what Bezos did to get everybody used to using Amazon is what's hurting the arbitrage model and arbitrage suppliers.
Got it. Yeah.
We still have a 5-year runway, man, at least.
Until what?
Until, you never know what's going to come at us, and we're going to figure out ways to solve it. That's all there is to it.
Oh, just change in the business?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Usually when people start making too much money, someone comes down on you.
Yeah, the world's not geared to let you make that much money.
Yeah, I know. Well, cool.
All right. Well, listen, it's 6:55. Justin, is there anything you want to add? Any other questions? While he's typing, Brian, can we close this out? Anything else? Janae, I hope you found some value to this. Thank you very much, Jess.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to unmute again.
Yeah, you were muted. Thank you for coming. Listen, keep learning, guys. Keep growing. We'll do another one next month, and I'm also going to do one Thursday night for the Web Scraper app group too. So if you guys want to show up for
Yeah,
that.
I'll join that one as well. I need as much knowledge as I can because I haven't actually got to posting products yet, so I'm trying to get there. So.
Yeah, don't get stuck in paralysis. Start doing. Take
Okay.
action, Janae. You know,
No,
sitting
that's
learning, watching videos, talking to people doesn't make you a dime. You every day
okay.
you get up, and every day I hope you can appreciate this. Every day you get up, you say, "This action I'm about to take, is this going to make me money?" And if the answer is no, if it's not an income producing activity, don't do it.
Okay.
Okay. If it is an
Thank you.
income producing activity, then do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Appreciate you. All right. I'm going to sign off. I'll figure out a way to get this thing uploaded to either YouTube, or if I can get it in the Facebook group, I will, or maybe I'll send it to Dom and he can put it in his back office. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Take